All right, so what's up? I'm going to be talking about chapter 6 of Time Paradox Ghostwriter in this video. But before we jump into it, I just wanted to apologize that it's been like a week and a half and I've been like behind schedule. I know like chapter 7's already out and chapter 8 is soon to come out. But I've just been like dealing with some stuff. But I did wait to read all these chapters until I knew that I would be able to like record and review them and then upload it. I'm not like saying like making these videos like off of like a week of contemplation on what just happened. Like no, I literally just read it and then I set up the camera and now I'm here talking to you guys. But yeah, again, I just wanted to apologize that I haven't really been making videos for the last 2 weeks. Hopefully I can get back into it. But yeah, so without further ado, let's just jump right into chapter 6. So yeah, chapter 5, it ended with the series about to be serialized and he just perfected his art. He was like super happy with it. So I was really wondering what was going to happen. I was like, all right, chapter 6 is definitely going to cover like the serialization aspect, but my God, like chapter 6 was actually all over the place. So it starts with like the schedule of like, yo, this time, this day, every week, we get the future issue from the microwave, right? And then so it details a little bit about that, and then it jumps into like how White Knight just got serialized and it's doing really well, and it got first place, which is pretty good. But then and Tepe's just talking about like, dang, you know, it's doing really well, but I gotta really improve my art because the story is like amazing, but I have to improve my art so my art doesn't hold it back. And then it freaking jumps like a couple months when they're like already releasing their first volume and it's still up in like top 3 rankings, which is super cool. But again, he's still like debasing himself. He's like, yo, my art has to get better. I can't hold this masterpiece back with my art. I need to make it even better. And then it also I believe it's like that same month that you know, the editor comes in and she's like, yo, Itsuki, congrats, you won the Tezuka award, or you won an 8th Tezuka award. And everybody's like, yo, that's crazy, we didn't even know you were drawing something. And she's like, oh, yeah, thank you guys. But they take her out to dinner, and again, he's just more contemplating this stuff. And the guy with the glasses, the assistant with the glasses that I really like, who's like super serious, he actually goes up to Tepe and tells him about how he was basically in Tepe's shoes, how he was drawing manga and it wasn't really getting him anywhere, and he was about to quit, and then he read White Knight and it really just inspired him to keep going, keep creating. And then, you know, Tepe has the thought, well, you know, maybe it was worth it to bring White Knight to this timeline. Like, there are merits to it because now I'm inspiring people that it wouldn't have inspired if it came out in 10 years, you know what I mean? So now he's seeing bright spots to him inheriting this manga 10 years early. And he's also kind of becoming more and more determined to bring his own aspect to it and to not get himself so down about it, which is something that I really like to see, and I knew was going to happen eventually, and I'm glad that I'm starting to see like little droppings of that, like that he's starting to come into his own with it. And then that also foreshadows a little bit what happens at the end of the chapter, which is actually crazy. But before we get there, anyway, everybody falls asleep, and then Tepe wakes up to see Itsuki like really drawing a lot. And he's like just super impressed, and he thinks back to you know, all the declarations she's made and everything he's gone through with her. And he just starts like crying. He's like, damn, like I'm really blessed to have met her and to like for her to be here. But I still just feel really guilty about taking White Knight away from her, and I have to support her 100% in whatever she's going to do from now on, because it's my duty, it's my job, because I've taken away her future. And then she notices him. She's like, yo, what's up? You know, and then he's like, no, nothing. Keep doing your thing. I'm like super proud of you. Here's a sketchbook so you can sketch on the go. You don't have to freaking draw on napkins at restaurants. And she gets super hyped. She's like, yo, thank you. That really means a lot to me. And you know, then he finds determination rather to progress, keep going. And then the bombshell, like the last two, well, before we get to that, right, then we get to like the last couple pages, and he's thinking about an anime. He's like, yo, future White Knight's about to get an anime. That's crazy. I wonder when we'll get an anime. And then like right that second, he gets a call from his editor, and the editor's like, yo, we're getting an anime, boy. But it's not gonna happen for like a year and a half, 2 years. But that's still crazy. Like anime adaptation, not even a year out. Which yeah, it's another thing. By the end of the chapter, it's almost been a year from when White Knight was serialized. It's been like 8 months, which is actually insane. It's just skipping a bunch of time, but it makes sense. It makes sense. I don't know. Yeah, I guess it makes sense. I was gonna say that I wish, if that much time had passed, I wish we did see a little bit more character development, but I guess we are seeing a little bit of character development. And also, it's probably been hectic for them, grinding day in and day out, so it's probably not left a lot of room for like contemplative thinking, you know what I mean? They're just grinding, drawn out manga, like, you know what I mean? That's cool. But then the bombshell, like the last two chapters hit, he's like, yo, yeah, the beginning of the chapter, they were talking about the schedule, future issue shows up this time, this date. Yeah, it didn't show up. And Tepe's going fucking crazy. He's like, yo, why didn't it show up? Like, oh my God. And I predicted this. If you go back to my like previous chapter reviews, and you go towards like the end of the videos where I'm like speculating, I'm like, yo, there's definitely going to be a point in time where for some reason or another, he's not going to be getting the future issues anymore. Whether the machine stops working, somebody takes it, like, I don't know. But that's actually crazy. So I totally called it. I predicted this. Like, if you go back and look, I called it. But I'm really curious as to what's going to happen from now on, because, like, he's finally getting more determination to draw it his own way and make it his own. And he's finally kind of being happy that he's drawing it instead of just, like, depressed and upset. But, he does not have the story to go off of now. He doesn't have the material from 10 years in the future that Itsuki wrote to just like copy and redraw. You know what I mean? So like he might have to start making his own story for it. And especially if like he starts like a new arc by himself, and then he gets like the future issues again, and it's just like something totally different. Whew. Like he'll probably still incorporate that, but like he'll have to finish what he started. You know what I mean? So this is really going to be him. I hope it's going to be him incorporating more of his own ideas. And, this is really the plunge that he needed for him to just start making it his own. Because if he just kept on getting new copies every week, he would never make it his own. It would just be him copying the story and redrawing it. But now, hopefully, he can actually start incorporating his own elements. And even if he does start getting the future issues again, the elements that he incorporated will still be in there, and he can mesh them together with what Itsuki Aino is going to be doing. But I say that like it's super simple, but you have to remember that White Knight that Itsuki made, the story is actually amazing. And I don't know if Itsuki can make something up to that level. You know what I mean? So even if he does accept the fact that he has to start incorporating his own content in there, will it be to the same level? You know what I mean? And you know, he's going to be driving himself crazy, because he's going to be debasing himself. He's going to be like, yo, this is dog shit. Like, this is not what she would have done. This is not up to the level that she would have had. This is not up to snuff. Like, I can't even do this. Like, he's going to lose his composure all over again. And it's actually going to be crazy. And it's going to be funny to see, like, all his assistants and everybody being like, yo, what you mean you don't got any ideas? Like, yo, the plot was going smoothly. You said you had a lot of ideas. What's happening? Now you're saying you don't know what to do with the story, huh? We can't just go on a hiatus. Oh, I wonder if they go on hiatus. Oh, I could see that. I could see them going on like a week or two hiatus while he's going fucking crazy, and then he ultimately determines to just do his own thing with it and start making his own story. Because like, how do you fix the time machine thing? Like, you don't know how to fucking fix that. That's elements out of your control. But yeah, I'm really happy that they're incorporating more of those elements in there. They didn't just forget about the time machine, you know what I mean? I don't know. This chapter was just such a roller coaster. It took place over the span of like 8 months. It We saw the first chapter is serialized. We saw the first volume serialized. We saw like Teppei getting a call about an anime adaptation. We got some more character progression, and not just with Itsuki and Teppei, but also with the other assistant, like that guy with the glasses, which I really like to see. I want to see more progression outside of like the main two characters, which is cool. I do think it is maybe moving a little bit fast. I'm kind of worried that they're just going to use all their ideas right off the bat and not really have anywhere to go. And again, you know, first episode I made about this series, I compared it to Bakuman. I want to see more Bakuman aspects. I want to see more real life manga creation aspects, and not just like this hit manga from the future getting first place every week. You know what I mean? I'm still really enjoying it, but I am kind of concerned about the pacing so far. I think it can still be really good. I'm just worried that maybe with this really quick pacing, they'll use all of their ideas too quickly, or they'll be burned out. And I hope it's not that the writers of White Knight or not White Knight, of Time Paradox Ghostwriter are getting worried by all the series getting axed after the first like 15 chapters. Because I really think that Time Paradox Ghostwriter is something special, and I don't really want the writers to be the writer and the the artist to feel pressured by that, because I think their series is going to be good. I think it's going to stay, and I don't want them to rush it just to ensure that it's not going to get canceled in the first 2 weeks, not 2 weeks, in the first like 15 chapters or so. So yeah, I'm a little bit worried about the direction it's going, but I'm still very excited, and I'm still very much liking it. So yeah, I don't really know what else to say about chapter 6. Like, I really want to jump into chapter 7. It's already out. It's already out for me because like I said, I'm doing this like a week and a half late, unfortunately. But I'm just really excited. So yeah, that's about it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. Once again, I'm sorry that it's been like a 2-week break. I'll try to get back to a couple of videos a week. But yeah, just thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day. Yeah, I don't really have a question to ask you guys because you already know the answer from what's going to happen. So yeah, bye guys.